Hello, everybody. Welcome to my new podcast. This is Animal Fact Café. I used to have another podcast and then another one before that, and none of them are just vibing with me, and I feel like my heart is really with animals. If you see a little gray thing running through, that's my crackhead son, my cat, Banjo. He likes to make appearances. I recorded the first episode of this like 2 days ago, and I use his cat tree as a tripod. Now, is that probably the best idea? No. So he tries to jump in the cat tree, realizes there's a giant stuffed animal. Okay, on his cat tree to hold up my phone at the exact height. Okay, don't make fun of me. He was like, why is this thing in my cat tree? So instead of jumping in the cat tree to get in the window, he just tries to jump in the window and then tries to catch himself on the curtains, and the whole curtain rod falls down. It's hilarious. I'll have to add that clip in here. And then I was like, okay, maybe that's the universe telling me to not fucking record. So I did it. But anyway, this podcast is gonna be about animals, obviously. And I work in vet med, so I love a lot of random animal stories, but I want to talk about more like wild animals. I am gonna make podcasts about like dogs and cats because I know a lot about dogs and cats, but I feel like the first episode we're just gonna talk about a specific animal and then kind of talk about my life and shit. So yes, my name is Kyla. I work at a vet hospital. I am going to school for animal behavior and I like animals, so here we are. But I really like, the thing about animals is I really like mammals. Like, I don't know a lot about like sea creatures or amphibians or I almost said fish. That's sea creatures. They like anything that's not a mammal. I don't know that much about. So I feel like this podcast is gonna help me delve more into different types of animals and stop being a mammal person. I mean, I'll always be a mammal person. I am a person that's a mammal, but like I want to learn more about like frogs and shit. So I'm gonna start out kind of slow, and we're gonna talk about leopards. So, well, it's not really technically a leopard. You'll see. But we're gonna be talking about a clouded leopard. It's a really pretty, kind of weird looking cat. They have like short legs and their head's kind of weird. I don't know. I'll show you a picture. Clouded leopards are some of the largest. No, let me back up. Clouded leopards have some of the largest canines in the big cat kingdom in proportion to their skulls. So they have, like I said, they're kind of shorter. They have a smaller head, but their canines are gigantic, and they can also open their mouth to almost 100 degrees, a 100-degree angle, which I don't know, that's a lot. So they're one of the most ancient cats. There's been fossils tracing them back to 6 million years ago, which is crazy to me that we can. Is that an estimate? Like, when they test that, like, I should look into that. How do they know? Because 1 million, even just looking at the number, that's a big ass number. And we have issues tracking shit back from like 100 years ago. But like 6 million, crazy. They're more found in kind of like the eastern India area. They have a weird neck structure. So again, I'm going to show you a picture. They're very kind of like stubby. They're kind of like the corgis of big cats, which is interesting because they're kind of in the middle of a big cat and a small cat. They're like that kind of middle ground. But due to the way their neck is structured, they can't really roar or purr. But they do growl and hiss and make other weird noises, but they cannot make those noises due to their neck. What are you looking at? There's probably a ghost talking to my cat. I'm not crazy. So that's interesting. They tend to be more solitary, except for, you know, moms and their pups or cubs. Cubs. Gosh, I need to go to bed. And another very interesting thing I found out about them is, so you know when cats are like chasing something and their pupils get really big, or when they're like, my cat, when he's acts like he's on crack, his pupils take up like his whole fucking eyeball, and his eyes just look like a dark hole of annoying. And Theirs don't do that. Their pupils don't change shape. Crazy. They're also really pretty because the spots on their coat resemble kind of clouds. So they're edged in black, can be more of a yellow-ish to more of a brown-ish color, depending on their fur. But yeah, they are really cool cats. I just thought it was interesting about their eyes because most big cats' eyes do that, like dilation. So that was really interesting. Banjo, do you have anything to add about clouded leopards? If you knock my drink off, we're gonna have an issue. He's gonna try to get my attention. Banjo thinks he's a clouded leopard. And they eat the normal things that leopards would eat. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, another thing is they can climb headfirst down trees, and they can also hang off of trees. The males can weigh up to 50 pounds, and females weigh up to 35 pounds. So they're not that big. That's like the size of like a medium dog. But they're cute. They're vulnerable to be endangered. Yeah, and they're one of the only animals, and only 2 of cat species that can climb down a tree headfirst. This is from the Smithsonian. What is the other one? To high demand, access for the giant panda habitat may close early. Wait, do they have pandas again? Hold on. Hold the phone. I haven't been to the Smithsonian in a hot minute. Do they have pandas now? What? Because the last time they sent them back to China. The one was born in 2021. They brought them back on a 19-hour flight called the Panda Express. I'm crying. Pandas can bark? I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm so going off of a tangent right now. Attach a video so you guys can listen to this. What was that? I keep forgetting he's behind me. Anyway. I'm going to keep this podcast kind of short because it's the first one, just kind of seeing the vibes. But I hope you guys enjoy and learn something about animals. I hope you learned something about clouded leopards. I'm going to go to bed because I work 10 hours. So, good night.